On behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome. Today we are being joined by Alejandro Castillo. Alejandro is licensed chiropractor, massage therapist, neuromuscular therapist. He's a master Reiki Shiatsu expert, certified in naturopathy and herbology. And the topic that we are going to be talking about today and what interests us the most today is the fact that he's an expert in numerology. Before starting with Alejandro, we want to remind you that Mindalia.com is an international non-profit organization and that you can collaborate with us just by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, leaving us a positive comment, or even sharing this with someone that you know that may like what we're going to be talking here today. Having said that, I have the great pleasure of introducing Alejandro. Alejandro, welcome to Mindalia. How are you? Now in English.
Hi Mirna, how are you? It's very nice to see you again. We've been in the past in Mindalia in Spanish, talking about different topics and having a lot of fun. It's for me an honor to be with you again and to feel your good vibes, your good energy. And to everybody at Mindalia TV, well, welcome. Thanks for the opportunity that you're giving me to express a little bit of my knowledge, and we're gonna have a lot of fun today. We're gonna talk about numerology and how can we use numerology in a regular basis in normal life, because when you get into all this energy stuff and techniques, they give you a different view of people and of life, about how people interact with each other and with the universe. For those who doesn't know about numerology, this comes with humanity since the beginning of times. A lot of people talks about the numerology in Greece, with those philosophers like like the ones who started all this movement, the one we know now. But if you really think about the past, it's not just Pythagoras, the one who started all this. If you talk about Mayan civilization, they also had this same kind of technique called numerology, and they use that numerology with mathematics and astrology to understand the way nature goes and the way the planets and also the universe work. And also Egyptians, they also have a numerology. So it's not just in Greece, it's everywhere you see it. I mean, Chinese civilization use numerology also in different ways. At the end, it's the same. It's just interpretation of energy, and its interpretation of the human being and how we are related to the universe. I'm sorry, you were going to say something?
Yes, I was actually
Sorry.
gonna say that. No problem. We enjoyed that introduction. It was really good. What I wanted to tell you is that I think that most people is nowadays not very familiar with numerology. We kind of think that math is a subject in school, right? But it happens that our whole world is composed by mathematical formulas. And we kind of forget about that until someone like you or other people that have the type of studies that you have comes and remind us that we are formed out of mathematical formulas, that there's all about geometry and music and sounds, but we don't see that. We completely forgot about it, right?
Yeah, it's different. It's very different when you see life through the eyes of energy, because as I was telling you, Pythagoras is maybe the most famous numerologist there is, because he started a school, and he was also a mathematic guy and a mathematician and also philosopher. So he thought that universe was bounded together by something that was everywhere, and it leads in some way everything. It leads in some way the balance and the rhythm of the universe. And he came to the conclusion that everybody is part of the same energy and is ruled by numbers. It's the way you can measure something, vibrations, people, and planets, galaxies. So you can count everything you can count exists. Okay. And what about what is behind zero? Well, behind zero, it's a whole universe of negative numbers. Okay. So it never ends and it never starts. So that's the cool thing about it. And numerology helps you to understand the way universe works, but also you can use it to understand people, to understand your in my case, I understand my patients by reading the numerology, but anyone can use this technique to benefit, to get benefits, like knowing, for example, which is a good day for going to a job interview. For example, if you have the chance to choose, if you have the chance to choose where, when you want them to interview you for the new job, for this position, for this new thing you want to get in, well, that's a very good chance for you to use numerology on your behalf and your favor, and take advantage of the way energy is going to move around you in a certain day in a specific time. That's how you can use numerology. Let me tell you this very quick story about myself and my life. This is very personal, but I was I'm married, and I've been married for 20 years. I look young,
Yeah,
but it's
did you
because
marry
I'm
when you were
into
5?
yeah. No, it's because I eat properly and I eat good food. So that's why I years are going through my body in a very different way.
Smoothly,
But
very
I'm
smoothly.
actually 85 now. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, the thing is, I was married in 2000, and we decided we want to wait to have children because we wanted to study, we wanted to travel, we wanted to do different things. We wanted to learn about life and about different things. And we planned the day, we planned it ahead, like 20 years. We're going to wait until the right time. And when the time, when that date reaches, that was 6 years ago, I was living in Florida, and we decided it was time to have a baby. So we took out a sheet of paper and we started to do numerology, and we wanted to find a very good date for that baby to come. So we started to plan it ahead like that. That sounds crazy, because you need so many factors to play the same game you're trying to play. and and this is the magic. When something it's given to you, is because you deserve it. It's because in a certain way you have the power. Yeah, you've earned it, but you have the power to direct things to that specific place or point. And when the universe give you the chance to do it, you better take advantage of it. Is because it's supposed to be that way. So we planned everything, and we knew that we had a lot of chances that something went wrong, because it has to be so many things. And you know that when a baby it's ready, it's ready. It's just, it just wants to come out, and he just comes out whenever he wants. You can plan it ahead. Um, you can plan this C section. You can plan a C section with your doctor, but you know that that's not for sure. And anytime. The baby can decide, okay, I want to come out now, and it just comes. But we had the chance to perform the perfect plan for that baby, and we decided, hey, we planned it with the doctor, and everything just happened that way. Happened that way. So, and now we see things on my son that we were looking for, specific things we were looking for that will help him um, to have more chances, good chances in life. Of
Wow.
course, his decisions will have everything to do in the future, but at least we are giving him
A
great
blueprint.
blueprints and great tools for him to develop happiness and prosperity in his life. And that's a little something everyone can do. Of course, I know that most of people are not planning a baby, it just comes. But when you have the chance to plan it, that's the whole difference. And we'll see. It's just life will tell me if I was right or wrong. I don't know yet. For now, I think everything is going great for him. But that's only one of the uses you can have for numerology, and it's very interesting when you think about it. You can actually modify the future just by a good decision. Future is it's always, it's on the way,
It's
it's happening now.
developing, right?
Yeah, it's
Constantly developing.
developing. It's developing every second, every decision.
It's only normal that you wanted as a parent to give your child resources from your own perspective. Like if those are your tools and this is what you know and you've seen for many years that it works, it's only normal that if you are planning to be a parent, you say, come on, let me give him the tools that I know work, right?
Definitely.
If
And
let me ask you
mhm.
something. Let me ask you something. If I'm understanding well, so the world is the way I'm seeing it is like this is a huge blueprint of binary codes. So the matter and everything surrounding us is made of numbers. We are made of numbers. The opportunities, the time in which the opportunities comes are made of numbers. So how do I individualize myself so I can position myself in where I am and when I am?
Well, that's a good question. Um, that's a good question because you are a lot more than just vibrations and just numbers. We are a lot more. We are like, if we are if God is our Father that makes us in certain way co-creators of everything in the universe, and that's a lot more that we can even imagine. We are more than we can even imagine. But the way energy moves around us, that is something that we can really measure, that we can really predict and see. And when you are born, when you get born, you you come with that blueprint that tells how it's going to be, or how the chances are going to be. And if you have that knowledge, then you have the power to change what you don't like about that blueprint, because you are co-creating reality, and the first reality you can change is your own. And these are great tools to give direction to your life, to your thoughts, to your feelings. And numerology is about feelings, is about perception, is about what you can create with the tools you have, because everybody's got different abilities and different tools that you can take advantage in your life to achieve anything you want. Um, I like to think about what Jesus said, that that we could do the same great things and the same miracles if we had faith, if we could really get into ourselves and believe we can do it. hmm
If
But you
I
need
come,
tools.
you need tools, resources, and there's plenty. If I come to you, Alejandro, and I say, listen, I want to start engineering my life, I want to start to take advantage of numerology, where would we start?
Well, first thing I will ask you for your complete date of birth, and I would analyze that information because that's the primary information and that's the blueprint you came with. But then your parents decided certain names for you, and they gave you last names like the DNA code that comes in your cells. They just gave it to you. You didn't ask for it,
It's like
and
you
it's
you
there.
come into the world. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm just making analogies here. You come into the world. You're like you newly born, minty fresh, and you're given a ticket. And this is what you're gonna have. Here's your date of birth, and here is your name. And according to the frequencies in which your name sounds, and the date in which you came, time, and everything, even place. These are your cards. You play them in however way you can, right?
Yeah, this is on a numerology perspective because if you think behind that, uh, the position of the moon, the position of Mars, Pluto, Saturn, and the sun was in this position. Everything was on a specific place when you're born, when you're born. So it all affects. But in numerology, it's like a blueprint. You come with your blueprint, and your parents decide that you're gonna be called Mirna. They don't know if that will be good for you, that it will support what you already have, or it will block in some way your mission or your soul or your personality. They don't know. They just throw it to the universe, right? Mirna, Mirna Perez. I don't know if that will be good for you. But then some people doesn't like their own names, like the first, or if they have a second name, they don't like it, they don't use it, or they don't like one of the last names, because in Latin America we use two last names. So we have almost everybody has two names, two last names. Not in everywhere, but in Latin America goes that way. So most of the time you don't get identified with one of your names, or you use only one last name. And that's because of something. That vibration is resting you something you don't need.
Or another name is given to you as you start growing up. Like some people never
Exactly.
use their given name and they are Panchito or they are Lulu, right?
Yeah, exactly. And and that happens because that vibration goes better in something. I know I know a specific girl that was her numerology was nothing to do with her job. She's a very big influencer in Latin America, and she's a well-known TV hostess, and she's got her own YouTube channel, and she's always having conferences and stuff like that. But her name has nothing to do with that energy, and nor her date of birth. So she wanted to know why. And when I analyzed her numerology and her name, she doesn't use any of her given names, not her first, her second, and not her last name. She doesn't use anything. She's just called Tuti, and that changes everything for her. In her case, that is giving her all the energy that she needs to bright and to be a great uh, communicator. And that's how it works. Sometimes if she hadn't decided to use that name, maybe she's a psychologist, by the way. Maybe that would have been her way. Psychology and a clinic, taking care of patients. But then she take this twist on her life, and she changes her name, and everything opens on a different direction. And that can happen to you. If that answers a little bit your answer, how can I take control of my life and do like uh, a re-engineer of my own existence, of my own life? If there's something I don't like, I have to change it on me. If there's something around me I don't like, it's because my vibration is creating it.
We resonate with our name. We kind of, the name should be something that we feel, that we identify ourselves with.
It depends, because it will resonate if you by example, my name is David Alejandro, or David Alexander, something like that. But everybody calls me Alex. All my friends call me Alex. And I'm also a musician. And in the music world, I'm known by Alex. And I'm sure that name gives me a little more creativity. I'm a music therapist also, and I'm sure it's because of that name. Because if I analyze only my date of birth, there is a little bit of art and a little bit of creativity, but the name Alex is completing me to become uh, an artist or a creator.
Let's go ahead and deep dive into numerology, starting from our date of birth.
Okay, I have
We
here
have an example.
I have an example. Yes, it's this example. It's pretty cool. We're gonna analyze today only the date of birth, because we are not gonna have enough time to break the name and break the date of birth and make the whole analysis of the numerology. But this person was born on March 23rd, 1982. Okay, and the way you start is by adding all the numbers on your date of birth. So when you add 2 plus 3 plus 0 plus 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 2, that will be, if you take that and go to only 2 digits, if you take that to only 2 digits, that will give you 10. And 10, it's equal 1 to 0, it's 1. So your this person will be a 1 on a mission. The mission of this person will be 1. 1, it's a person that has leadership inside, so it's a natural leader. It's got great ideas, so ideas are very important, and this person needs someone who believes on these ideas, that she needs support for these good ideas. Someone who believes and that supports is very important, because it's the way that it's gonna become a better leader, and it's gonna take people to a better place. So these people is usually um, persons. These persons are in charge of others, and they take us to a different level. And things that it's supposed to overcome with time, it's believing on herself, because this is a girl, and she has to believe a little more on herself, that she deserves this opportunity, and she has got all the tools necessary to become a better leader and to take people. And it's not only one person or two, it's her her country or other countries, and take them to another level, a level of conscience, or a level of prosperity, or take them out of poverty and take them, or give them opportunities through work or through different things. But that's that kind of leadership. And specific in this case, I see a couple of things that should be addressed. And the first one is limits. That's a very complex word because limits start by ourselves. When is enough for us to have a certain situation or to accept certain things in our life? We have to trace the limits first to ourselves and then to other people. But if we don't do it with ourselves, then other people will take advantage of us because we don't know when to say no. We lose the power of saying no, or saying it's enough, or saying I don't like it, I don't want to, I'm tired, or I can't hold it anymore. We lose that power, and it begins all within us. It's when we think it's enough, and when we think we have to say thank you, but that was enough, I don't want it anymore. So that's something to take in consideration for this person. Limits. Number number two that I think it's very important, it's happiness. Happiness is a very important issue. It's an issue because it's there, because it's something that will always be inside this person, but sometimes we don't see our own happiness. Other people can see us bright in the streets, and our friends are always calling us because they think we are happy and we can give them some happiness, but we don't feel that big or that happy. We feel that there is an emptiness inside of us, some kind of emptiness, and it's because we are not putting attention to what's inside of us. We are trying to find this happiness outside, in a person, in a job, in a new position, and prosperity, and in things that are outside of ourselves. And the fact is, happiness lives inside us. It's within us. And it's a mistake trying to find happiness in someone else or in something else, on a dream, on a goal. That is not happiness. And we all have in some way been involved in this. Let's say when you buy a new car. When you buy a new car, you are excited, you're thrilled, you're so happy, and you buy it, you get the keys, and you're, wow, my BMW, yeah. But at the very next day, you realize that it's just a car and it's just gonna be parked all night there, and it will take me wherever, the same way my old Kia would do it. So at the end, all that happiness, you realize that wasn't real. It was just an illusion, because the happiness is within you. And when you are real happy, you don't need anything to be happy. You're just happy and you just enjoy yourself. That is happiness. And so in this case, this girl, she looks, if you see her in the streets and you don't know her, you would believe she is the most happy person in the world, because that's what we will see. Everybody who knows her will feel that same vibe, that she is happiness, walking happiness, and she is capable of give happiness to others, but it doesn't happen to ourselves. When we have that energy, we usually feel that emptiness, and we are always trying to feel it with something, and that's a little bit dangerous, because you can fall into that game looking for happiness. It's dangerous because you can get addicted to certain things that gives you not exactly happiness,
Isn't
but
isn't that kind of a very cultural thing? In my opinion, if most people are in the exact same place of thinking that happiness is in the car, in the house, in the husband. How do you see that? How can we develop that capability of peace is within, happiness is within, in your experience?
yeah, this is a very good topic, but it
It takes a
requires
talent and
it
a
takes
habit, right? Of saying, okay, I'm happy today because of me, right?
yeah, but society, it's guilt of or responsible of giving us that false way of thinking, because it's always telling us you have to go to a certain university, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a dentist, you have to be an attorney
You have to
to
look
to be healthy.
this and that, right? You
You
have
have
to be
to wear
thin
this,
and fit.
exactly, you have to look like this, you have to drive this car, you have to go these places, and if you're not there, you're not in, you're out, and if you're out, you're not gonna be happy, you're not gonna be wealthy, you're not gonna be healthy.
And
And
nobody's gonna love you because that's what
yeah,
society is
of
selling us,
course,
right? You're
no
either
one's
this and that, or you're not belonging here.
exactly. And I think that's our worst enemy, that's what's leading us to think of happiness as a very different thing than what it really is. And it's a social thing, and now it's everywhere in the world. There are just few places now that where people, well, in Guatemala, and I would say in Venezuela and in Latin America, even in the States, but in the countries where prosperity is not so big as in the first world countries. I would say the third world countries or the fourth world countries, where you can find people who's got nothing and they are happy, and they live every day eating whatever they can find around them, and that's just exist, and that's enough for them to be happy. They
The
don't even
afternoon
know.
beer is more than enough, right?
Yeah, exactly. They don't even know what an iPhone is or what a smartphone is or a computer, and they don't care. They don't care if the new one is coming, and they're not. Of course, they're not gonna waste the whole day trying to get the new gear, because it makes no sense for them. It's not what life is about. Life is about experience. It's about how you feel, and are you happy or not? Are you okay with yourself or not? And
Alex,
numerology, yeah,
let me ask you something because I'm dying here. I want to make another question.
yeah, go ahead.
Once you have identified like the blueprint of the person, once you have that mapped out, how do you apply it? For example, on a job interview or
Okay,
making a decision. How do you apply that?
definitely. Let's say you want a new job, but now you know exactly your numerology blueprint, and you know that you're very good for communication. You're very good of expressing yourself, and you're very good giving ideas. That gives you a very big range of possibilities and opportunities. You're not gonna go to an attorney firm to ask for a job, because it's not gonna be for you. So what I'm telling you is, when you get your blueprint, you get knowledge and you get power, because you can see if you were in the right path or you were going in a complete wrong direction, and that's why things were not going the way
So you know
you
where to
wanted.
row, you know where to direct your steps, and
Exactly.
where you're gonna be finding most likely more compatibility on a job. How about dates? How do you figure out what's a good date for me to do this and that? Is it possible?
definitely, because a date is the same as your birth date. It's just a moment in the space and time where something is going to happen, and that something has got a vibration, and you can find out what vibration there is. And if there let's say you have an interview tomorrow, and tomorrow, if you add all the numbers of the date of tomorrow, let's say it would be an whatever, a one, right? A one. And you have an interview for a new position, for a new job, or let's your first date, whatever it is. So you can think about what the energy would be like on that day, and use it on your favor. You know, if you think about number one, you will realize that that's a day for ideas. And if you come out with great ideas, you will make a good impression of your boss, of your future boss, and show a lot of leadership will be good for you, and it will make you feel good. And this person that's interviewing you will feel you're in a good vibe with the position and with the moment.
Thank you, Alex. Before we leave, we are going to take the chance of bringing questions that we have in the chat. We have two questions. Can we do that?
Okay, yeah,
So the
definitely.
first one is from Macarena. She's seeing us from Argentina. And
Argentina,
we
okay.
have, my number is 2. What does it mean?
Her number is 2. It means that she add all the numbers on her date of birth. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I understand. She's saying 2, so I'm guessing she knows how to
Okay.
do the date of birth, adding all the numbers, right?
Okay. So let's say this person has added all the numbers on her birth date, and they all come together. And if you reduce that to only one digit, that will be a 2. Then, of course, the rest of the numbers are very important, but let's talk only about a 2. The 2 is a person that is always learning. She is a person that likes to learn, or that is one of her goals: learning, become better every day. She's a good learner, and that's her mission: learn and understand more what's behind the wall. And that kind of person that's always trying to find out things, that comes very good with her. And she's also a good follower. She's a person that can be very useful for a leader, because a leader is nothing if it doesn't have followers. So she's a good follower, she's a good worker. She's like a little ant that will do the job. She will get the job done. And that's very important. She's got the patience to do it, and she perseveres until she gets what she's looking for. Those are her good her strong abilities. Also, she's always got a good advice. She's a good advisor. She's got a good advice for a friend, for a son. So she could be a teacher, she could be psychologist, or that kind of job will be great for her, because she will be doing good for others.
Thank you. Now we have another question. This question is from Dunia Rodriguez. She's seeing us from Spain. I have
Yeah.
reduced my numbers and I got an 11. She says, I
11.
reckon that my number is 11. What does it mean? And how do you get. Okay, she's also asking about astrology, but I think this is not the topic today, but we can bring it some other time. So far, what is an 11 for Dunia?
Okay, an 11. It depends. I should see the date of birth, and then with that information, I would say if she is an 11 or a 2, because 11, when you add 1 plus 1 will be 2. So if she is straight 11, that means that she's got some kind of mastering on her life. She's got this feeling that she has to leave something for humanity. um, and she will always have this feeling that she can.
We have the
Sorry.
full date. Do you want to write it down?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I don't know.
because
Okay, you wanna send it to me so we
yeah, no,
don't
it's
say it on the air, or
September. Yeah, it's okay. September 15th, 1976.
September?
151976. Dun, dun, dun. And we'll figure it out. And this is gonna be our last question for today, because it's time to go. Let me know when you're ready. Thank you, Dunia, for sending us your questions, and thank you, Macarena, from
Yeah.
Argentina.
So
Well,
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again for me?
yes,
September
it's September 15th,
15th.
15,
Okay. 1976.
76.
Okay. 1976. Okay.
While
I just making sure I got it right.
yes, take your time. While Alex is doing that, we want to remind you that we are a non-profit organization and that you can collaborate with us by liking, subscribing, sharing this video that with someone that you know that may like it. We do this in Spanish. We have 6 live streams a day. That's where we are big and strong, and we didn't want to miss the opportunity to also share information in English. Alex,
Okay,
are you
I got
ready?
it.
You got
Yeah,
it? Okay,
I
we're
got
going
it.
with you
I got
then.
it. Okay. Well, what I can see, what I can read is that she's got actually the two energies within her. So it means that she will have this duality on her personality. Sometimes, for most of people, she will be one of two, or a very strong woman, or a very light woman. Or I mean, by light, I mean someone soft, someone very soft, or someone very hard. But she has the ability to change that in any minute. She can have a very, very powerful personality, and in some cases she will be very soft, and that's how she will manage situations. And she's got the power to become from a little kitty to a lioness in 2 seconds. So she has got that strength within her, and definitely she's got this feeling of needing to do something for humanity, not only for her family, for her country, but for humanity, for the universe. And that's because she it's in some way she has got this master path on her way. She's definitely an old soul, and she's got a very specific mission, and she's gonna get the point that she has to choose if living a regular and normal life, or take the hard path and become um, someone that lives for others. And that is very, very hard to do, because you leave apart your own needs and your own happiness sometimes to fulfill something bigger than you. And I would say she's got very good tools, because she's very humanitarian, and she's got a very strong sense of family, and family is very important for her. So she will think human race, it's like a family for her. So she's always trying to do good, trying to find new ways of helping people to become better and better and better. And that's a very tough mission. But she's got a stability, and she's a very stable person. So she can handle with all this pressure very well.
Thank you, Alex. We have reached the end of our conversation, and it looks like,
Really?
yeah, it happened so fast. Before we leave, let's give you
Okay.
1 minute or as much as you want just to say your final comments. What do you want to leave us with?
Okay. We are the human race. We are on a path of evolution, and these kind of chats and these kind of opportunities to grow and to understand better the way things are just precious and treasures that we have to take and we have to be grateful. So I want to say thanks to Mindalia TV and to your audience, Mirna, to you, and to everybody that makes possible this, because information, it's power, and with this you're empowering people to be better. Numerology and many different techniques there are just that, techniques that helps you become a better you. So thank you very much for this nice lovely chat, and nice to see you again.
Yes, thank you again, Alex. We before we leave, we just want to remind you that Mindalia is a non-profit organization, an international non-profit organization. You can help us just by liking, subscribing, sharing this video with someone that you know that may benefit of what we've been discussing here today. Alex, thank you again for accepting our invitation in English. You've been with us a couple times in Spanish, but this time it's challenge, but we've done it very well, I guess. I'm pretty sure that it's understandable, and that's all we want. Just share information. We have nothing else to say by now, but goodbye and until next time. Hope you have a good day. Bye.